You're listening to Talkline with Zev Brenner, America's premier Jewish broadcast on the air since 1981.
And now, here's your host.
Welcome back to the program. I'm Zev Brenner, and we're looking right now with an organization called Chizuk Hatorah Worldwide, Inc., and we're going to spend the next 30 minutes looking at some very incredible work that they're doing. Rabbi Avraham Baruch Cohen is the founder, and he not only right now is trying to help Jews in Ukraine and Russia and even the United States, but he has a 40-year track record. He's gone to Arab countries, especially around Pesach time. His mission is around Pesach time to bring matzahs and wine to various Jewish communities. He's been in prison in Tunis. He's been in Damascus, and now he's focusing on the Ukraine. So Rabbi Avraham Baruch Cohen, the founder of Chizuk Hatorah Worldwide, Inc., thank you for joining us. And thank you for being here on the radio with us. Aleichem Shalom. I know we met 25 years ago when you were in Rabbi Vorhan Shul in Manhattan, and you travel around the world. So we're going to focus tonight, of course, on Ukraine, Russia, even Uzbekistan. We'll talk about what you're doing there. But I would just wanted you to share with our audience, because prior to the Ukraine crisis, prior to this war, you have been going to Arab countries. So tell us about some of the Arab countries you went to, and I want to look at when you were put in prison in Tunisia.
In '97, the last time I was in Arab countries, I was traveling to Tripoli to bring a diplomat passport, fake passport, to smuggle to you from Tripoli to Rome. And then I come to Tunisia, and then I've been arrested for the police checked me. They found me the diskette for Zev Brenner, the soldier, because I have connections with it.
You have a connection with whom?
Because when I go to Arab countries in Syria, I play poker with the soldiers from the soldier Syrians. And
I play poker with the soldiers. Hey.
I have the Teudat Seud for Ron Arad, the diskette for Zev Brenner. They have diskette. When they found out this, they give it to Arafat. They think I'm an Israeli spy. I've been tortured. Like a Rab Pinson from Havadi also was in prison for 3 days he was. And I was for 8 months. There was 25 Jews in prison in Tunis. 25 Jews. Accused to be a spy.
When you were there. Wow.
Yes.
Now,
and
when you...
Baruch Hashem,
how did you get out from the jail in Tunisia?
There was a nest. There was a miracle of a nest, because the day was supposed to, the rab in the beginning became like this. The chief rabbi from Paris traveled to Tunis to ask forgiveness to the president, because they were supposed to be hang out. So the day we're supposed to be hang out, I say to the Muslim, you are nice Muslim, let me to bury with my stuff, bring my tefillin. I put tefillin 2 o'clock in the morning. I know it's forbidden, but I put tefillin. My suitcase is my nice clothes for Shabbos, and then they come a new they come a new police. They think I'm allowed to go out. I traveled for 7 police stations, and I come to the port. When I was in the port, the police found out the mistake. They want to take me out from the boat, and somebody, Rapinha Belazar Verona Cohen, he said he was coming like a tourist. He was in the boat. I paid the ticket for him. In Shabbat, I come to Rome. And Rab Garelli from Milano, he helped me to talk to the Israeli consul, and I get my Israeli passport, my Teudat Seud in Israel, I get my Israeli passport in Milano. Rab Garelli was so thankful for Rab Garelli, Rab Schlesinger, who gave me these clothes, because I was coming with no clothes, with no nothing to.
So in prison, you had no clothes, nothing when they freed you.
So it was tearing and it was in pieces.
Wow. Now I'm curious. You dress in Hasidic garb. Now, when you go to the Arab country, I assume you don't dress this way.
No, I dress like an Arab, like a Dubai.
Okay, and you speak Arabic?
No at all. A few words.
Arabic.
Only a few words.
So now you're.
I say in the same when I was from France, because Rabbi Zvi Tersner, he was giving Matzahs from London. I traveled to Damascus. The police told me in Arab where I go. I told them the truth. I go to the Medina, Israel. I don't say Medina La Mecca, I say Medina Israel. If you don't understand my Arab or my English, it's this problem. I say Medina Israel. You think it's
So
Medina Mecca?
wow. So you've been traveling to Arab countries. You brought wine and you brought matzah for Pesach. What an incredible thing! And you actually were put in prison as you mentioned. So you've been Moser Nefesh for Pesach. That's your time of year when you would like to give Jews and make sure they have the proper food for the holidays. So I just find it fascinating that you went to the Arab countries. And now, didn't they see your Israeli passport when you went to the Arab countries?
In Damascus, in Tunis, they found my Israeli passport hiding inside of my clothes, and that's it. They think I'm Israeli spy. And the accused to be Israeli spy was sentenced to death in Tunis in
You were
'97.
sentenced to death, and then then you were able to get out of prison
Eight,
there.
8 months. I've been tortured 8 months. They pulled out my
8 months.
teeth. They pulled my teeth in the two sides, the left and the right. They burned me with cigarettes in the 8 brows. I have an
Wow.
operation in England. But who cares? We suppose the Talmud say, give your own life to the other Jew. We learn for Israeli soldiers. Our own Israeli soldiers, they give this life for us. We learn from the Israeli soldiers to give their life for another Jew at any price, unconditional love. But we will learn this from Israeli soldiers, Shelano, for Eretz Israel.
Yeah.
They do every day. They give this life. They are the good tzaddiks, the good about Israel.
So now you have this track record of helping. There is a crisis taking place in Ukraine. So you have taken upon yourself to help the Jews of Ukraine, help the Jews of Russia, help the Jews of Uzbekistan. Now, Uzbekistan is not part of the war. So what are you doing for Uzbekistan, Jews in Uzbekistan?
Because Rabbi Lishevi say, give on Ocean Parkway, it's no Matzahs, because the bakery for Matzahs there was in Ukraine.
Uh-huh.
And because there's no bakeries in Ukraine, who go to bring the Matzahs? So I helped to Rabbi Lishevi to contact.
So in other words, they have no
the-
matzahs.
He brings 6,000 tons, 6,000 tons Matzahs to
That's 6,000 matzahs
6,000 tons
to
from
Uzbekistan.
Israel over there.
Wow, wow. Because Ukraine makes matzahs for Ukraine. Do they make it for Russia too?
Yes, but
What?
now it's no connection. There's no Matzahs in Russia too. There's no Matzahs.
There's no matzahs in Ukraine, no matzahs in Russia. What about Poland? Has that been affected too?
No, because in England they take care about this, the Jewish community in England and Denmark. They take care about the Jews in Poland now.
The Jews in England take care of the Jews in Poland, but the Jews in Ukraine don't have matzahs and they don't have wine. How are you able to? First of all, where are you getting the matzahs from to bring to them?
Well, we get it for Manischewitz, Aviv, Judah. There's so many organizations they give it for free, or they give it half a price, or they give it complete truma.
Wow, wow. So you're helping.
Or every Jew here in Brooklyn, they bring their own matzahs. They bring 2 boxes matzahs, 3 pound matzahs. Everybody's born to get matzahs.
Wow. So you're concerned with getting the matzahs out there, and so how is it going? Because I would assume that the price of matzahs and you're getting discounts, but it's still going up. And I'm told there might even be a matzah shortage.
No, sometimes like Mr. Garbisian, they give little help, Mr. Garbisian. Any Jewish person give any little amount with it we manage to pay. Like Mr. Garbisian from Riverdale.
So while we're talking and we're looking at a wonderful organization, and you heard the Mesiris Nefesh of the founder of the group, he's been doing this for decades. I'm talking about Rabbi Avraham Baruch Cohen. He is head of Chizuk Hatorah Worldwide Inc., and they're distributing matzahs and helping Jews in Ukraine, Uzbekistan, Russia, even in the United States. And they work with Rabbi Uri Zohar and others in order to get this done. But you hear about the devotion that they've gone through and he's gone through. And we'll give out this number now and throughout the program if people want to help feed needy families and Jewish soldiers. We'll talk about the soldiers in Russia and soldiers in Ukraine. And you need to help Jewish families here and overseas. You can call Rabbi Polanski at 305-741-8858, 305-741-8858, or you can send checks to Chizuk Hatorah at 96 Parkville Avenue, Brooklyn, New York, 11230. All checks are tax deductible. Again, that's Chizuk Hatorah, care of Rabbi Polanski. It's 96 Parkville Avenue, Brooklyn, New York, 11230. Now, one of the things that I was intrigued by, Rabbi Cohen, is that also that there are, of course, Jewish soldiers in Ukraine, there are Jewish soldiers in Russia. So you have alerted people to some of the problems that the Jewish soldiers face being in Ukraine. So tell us about the issues that you're trying to deal with Jewish soldiers that are in the Ukraine.
My,
And I'm talking about Russian soldiers.
my son, I have two sons. One is in Ukraine, and one is in Russia. And my son described
you
me
have
the
one
situation. They
here,
sent me
one
videos,
in
pictures.
Ukraine.
My own son, he got to give his life for the Jewish community in Ukraine.
Wow.
He's volunteer to give his life too. My other son too. That's where I get all the information, all the picture, all the information, because there's no communication. Nobody talking about the situation, about the Russian Jewish soldiers. They died too. They forced them to go into the army. They had no choice. They forced them. And now they say they close the borders. Nobody can go out. Everybody must go into the army. That's
Well,
why we know they go to do nuclear, no, how you say, bacterial bombs. They don't send a bomb, they send a sickness, like the coronavirus,
you're talking
all
about
kinds of sickness,
chemical weapons,
nuclear,
threat of chemical weapons. There's nuclear,
chemical weapons.
and
That's
also,
what they want to do.
wow.
This is what they want to do now.
Now, but I want to follow as far as Jewish. So I've heard this initially, and then I didn't hear it anymore. That the Russian army, when they first came into Ukraine, they also had cremation trucks that follow the army because they didn't want to send the bodies back to Russia. They cremated them on the spot. So this poses a problem, especially for Jewish soldiers. So is anything being done about that for Jewish
But
soldiers?
my son, he was very three. My son, she checked the ID, and they found out there's Jewish. My son, he managed to take three bodies, but there are more than three bodies. And we asked volunteers to Chabad, to early rabbis in Ukraine, to check the bodies, to burn it, to bury, either without tarap or meaning to put into the ground, not to burn the body. This feels so bad, so painful to see our Jewish souls be burned.
So so what you're saying, you're able to pay and bribe the Russians not to cremate these Jewish bodies. You're able to get them if you pay them.
Yes, it's not to pay. My son speak proper Russian, and he managed. We have a ID from Russia, fake ID, of course. He managed to talk to them, and he managed to do something.
So he's
That's
managed to get some. Uh-huh. Now, are the rabbis responding to you? The rabbis in Ukraine?
But the few rabbis they now to take action about this because this is a problem. Now the rabbis they take care of them, start to take care about this. Start to take care about this. Like they take care for Purim now. They managed to go inside to Purim with the mitzvah tank. Now they do the same thing. They now start to open the site to do the other mitzvah.
Wow. I've heard about it, and I thought maybe they discontinued it, but it only got attention in the very, very beginning. So here you are. You're trying to help the Jews in Ukraine. What about in Russia? Are you helping the Jews in Russia as well? Because with the Matzahs?
Yes. My son is trying to figure out because we have the Matzahs in Denmark. We have a few trucks in Matzahs. So we want to find somebody want to be volunteer to give his life to cross the border. So somebody willing to go to Russia, and it's difficult. Somebody want to drive. It's difficult.
So how are you getting into Russia if it's hard to get in?
Yes, that's the situation. We pray to Hashem to open the gates. Miain la voy free.
Wow. So your son, now you mentioned you have a son in Russia and in Ukraine who is there, he's helping, he's willing to sacrifice himself for Ukraine. What is where which part of Ukraine is he in? Do you know? Is he right in
Yes,
the war zone?
it's in Kiev. It's in Kiev,
Oh, he's in Kiev. Uh-huh. Right in the war zone.
in the war zone.
And what is he doing exactly on the ground? What's he doing there?
He joined the army, the Ukrainian army,
Oh,
but he had to
he
do the
actually, he
mitzvah.
soldier in the Ukrainian army?
Yes, and he joined the mitzvah. You see any Jewish soldier, like we have Israeli soldiers over there fighting too. These soldiers, we have our own. They don't take care about that. It's not the
Amazing that he's a soldier in the Ukrainian army. He's willing to sacrifice. Well, God forbid, God should protect him and protect all the soldiers, especially the Jewish soldiers. But it certainly is a dangerous situation in Ukraine because of the assault of the Russian troops in that country. Have you been able to speak to your son once you joined the Ukrainian army?
He's sending him text messages. Sometimes he managed to get connection to contact to me. Sometimes 2 times a week. 2 times a week. 2 times a week.
You must be very proud of him.
Yes, but we forget the other things. Our soldiers in Medina Israel, because also the soldiers now suffering in Israel. It's a problem with Iran. Now Iran pay money to kill Jews in Israel, to kill Jews in America. You see, like happened in Boston, the Iranian paid to kill somebody in Boston. The rabbi in Boston, they put in plenty knives. The rabbi in Boston and Brighton, or here in Brooklyn. We have a persecution all over now. The Iranians, they take revenge of us. The Hezbollah, the Iranians, they give this life for us. Now this Pesach, our soldiers give to us everything.
What happened in Boston that you said you were referring to?
No, in Boston there was a rabbi from Chabad. There was a Muslim. They put a knife in his body many times. Baruch Hashem sobriety, but for no reason. It's an Iranian person. There was an Iranian, because Iran pay money. Iran paid $10,000 to kill a Jew all over the world. That's what he did pay. How I know? Because they have a website. How you say Abdullah in Yiddish? Abdullah. So I put my name Abdullah and I get all the information for the Iranians. Either they send me to me. If I kill soldiers, they give me $10,000. So I give all the information to Medina Israel.
Now tell us about yourself, because I believe one of your parents was from Morocco.
Yes, my mother is from Morocco. He was in the Haganah in Budapest. When he was 50 years old, he was crossed the border in the time from the war from Franco. He got to Budapest to rescue Jews from Budapest, because Spain they was very friendly with the Jews. My mother was given his life. He was 50 years old, and my father was in the concentration camp in Buchenwald. They give this life. I learned my father did too. They say you must to give your life for another Jew. It's what I learned from home. Give your life, anything for to help another Jew. Not think about it. About Israel is about Israel.
It's an incredible what we're hearing. Rabbi Avraham Baruch Cohen is somebody who embodies Mesiras Nefesh devotion. He's, as you heard, he's gone to Arab countries to bring matzahs and wine. He's been in prison. He's been tortured. His son joined the Ukrainian army, and he himself right now is taking upon himself through the organization that he founded, Chizuk Hatorah Worldwide Inc., to help bring matzahs to Jews in the Ukraine, and wine, Jews in the Ukraine, Jews in Uzbekistan, Jews in Russia, and elsewhere around the world as well. So if you'd like to do a mitzvah by sending food for Pesach, wine, matzahs, and tzedakah, you can call Rabbi Polanski at 305-741-8858. That's 305-741-8858. You can also send contributions to Chizuk Hatorah at 96 Parkville Avenue, Brooklyn, New York 11230. Again, that's Chizuk Hatorah, 96 Parkville Avenue, Brooklyn, New York 11230. Now, Rabbi Avraham Baruch Cohen, you were
I
telling
want
me
to say
before.
one thing more. I want to say one thing
Sure.
more. Rabbi
Sure.
Nathan Schaefer, he was from Sharon, Massachusetts. He helped me to bring food to Massachusetts and Boston. Now he's in Israel. He tell for the homeless in Israel. We have many Jewish homeless in the street. I have a video for Rabbi Nathan Schaefer, the Hebrusa Shlomo Kalba Zikrone Bracha. And even clothes, 1 o'clock, he gives clothes
I
and brand new
heard you
clothes
say,
to the homeless. Nathan Schaefer.
he's
He's now
helping
in
the homeless.
Israel.
Well, what's the Shlomo Kabach connection? I heard you mention Shlomo Kabach.
He's a Hebrusa. He was a Hebrusa for him, Zikrone Bracha. Shlomo Kalba
Oh,
was his Hebrusa.
oh, wow. And he is going and helping the homeless in Israel.
He's almost 18 years old. He gives his life, is healthy, to go into 1 o'clock in the night to bring blankets, to bring clothes to the homeless in Magne Yehuda, in Tel Aviv. He gives this also, he gives everything. We send clothes to him to give out to in Israel.
Now, you started telling me that you're also helping Jews in the United States.
Yes.
Which Jews are you helping in America?
We have it here in 96 Parkville Avenue. We have Syrian Jews, Moroccan Jews, any Jew in need, no mention is religious or no, keepa or no keepa, every Jew deserves respect. We open the house for everyone. He needs food, they can come 2 o'clock in the morning, 1 o'clock in the morning. The house is open for everyone who needs food. Any person who needs food or clothing, because Caraco, the company Caraco, they give me brand new clothing to give it to the Israelis. We give brand new clothing from Caraco. And Strauss, the baker Strauss, they give me a lot fresh every week to give out to the poor. Strauss and Miadrin, all the big companies, they give me food to give out.
Hadron, which is a big company, a big dairy company. So you're getting provisions from Manhattan and from Strauss and other places to
Yes,
give out to the poor.
3 pallets for cheese. We have 2 pallets from bakery Strauss to give out. We have a giant for Kevin. They give us 10 pallets 2 times in the last month. 2 pallets. 10 pallets,
Wow.
sorry, 10 pallets.
That's for the Ukraine. Was that for the Ukraine?
For Ukraine, for America. It's from America. For the giant from Ukraine, we managed to bring it from London or from France. We collecting giant over there to bring it to the border.
Now, how large an organization, because you're operating in Ukraine, you're operating in Israel, you're operating here. How large of an organization is Chizuk Hatorah Worldwide Inc.?
It's a small organization, but we try to do that. We convince every rabbi, every Jew to help to the near to one. Because we say in Birkat Hamazon, Patua Yadeja, we say to the other Jew, but open your hand too to the new Jew. We convince another Jew to help to the another Jew, to make a change. We make a change from Chesed. Like here in Brooklyn, one family, we bring plenty food. It's a poor family, he give out to other families. We make every house like a small supermarket for free. We give plenty food, and these families come to pick us food. We have like 10 houses here in Brooklyn. We give plenty food, and they give it out to the other families. Because we use the chain to ask for food. We're not supposed to shame to another Jew. We give the food like without shame.
Wow, that's important. They shouldn't be embarrassed by getting, unfortunately, if they need assistance, to get assistance. You're working with Rabbi Uri Zohar, correct?
I was working with Rabbi Zohar in the beginning. I was helping to raise money for Lev Lachim. I was bringing to Great Neck. And since then, we become friends, and he called to the companies to ask him to give me more food to give out.
How much money do you need for your campaign?
The money, I never talk about money, but whatever we can raise because it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money to raise the money. It's a lot. It's a lot because I also think about the Jews in Cuba. Every year I was sending Matzahs to Cuba, and this year I no managed to send Matzahs to Cuba. Only the Reform, the conservatives, they give.
They'd let you send Matzahs to Cuba?
Yes, but this year I was no managed to send us to the Orthodox synagogue because the synagogue, the Orthodox, they has no really help. Only the Reform, the Conservatives, they get help, but the Orthodox is a problem. It's very
Why?
hard to get help. I don't know. It's very hard. We try to convince people to become a rabbi over there because nobody talking about the Jews in Cuba. Fidel
Rabbi
Castro
Avraham,
was Jewish. Fidel Castro he was a Jew. He was not keep Yom Kippur, only Hanukkah. I am no Chabad, but I was put to Filina Fidel Castro because I speak Spanish. His mother come from Turkey, and his grandmother come from generation from the Toledo. They have a good story, Fidel Castro. He was a Jew.
wait, wait, wait.
He was a
You're,
Jew.
are you saying that Fidel Castro was a Jew?
He was a Jew.
I never.
He was in the synagogue. Every Hanukkah he go to the synagogue. Every Hanukkah he go to the synagogue. No in Yom Kippur, only Hanukkah. Only in
Wow.
Hanukkah.
This is. We have to have you back just to talk about Fidel Castro. I'd be curious to learn more about it, but I can't believe we're out of time already. We've been speaking to Rabbi Avraham Baruch Cohen. He is the founder of Chizuk Hatorah Worldwide Inc. And as you heard, even before the Ukrainian crisis, he traveled around the Arab world. He's brought matzahs and wine to Syria and Tunisia and other Arab countries. He's done the same for Cuba, and now because of the crisis in Ukraine. They're bringing matzahs and wine to Ukraine, to Russia, to Uzbekistan, because Uzbekistan gets their matzahs from Ukraine. There's no bakeries baking it, so they're trying to provide it. They're doing some important work around the world. To help out Rabbi Avraham Baruch Cohen and the Chizuk Hatorah Worldwide Inc., you can call Rabbi Polanski at 305-741-8858. That's 305. It's a 305 area code, 305-741-8858. Or you can send your tax-deductible contribution to Chizuk HaTorah at 96 Parksville Avenue, Brooklyn, New York, 11230. That's 96 Parksville Avenue, Brooklyn, New York, 11230. Rabbi Avraham Baruch Cohen, I thank you for joining us.
Hashem bless you. Hashem bless you to every Jew. Every Jew don't forget that his wife is this blessing. How the Jew burn this hammers? By give respect to his wife. Every person clean this house from this heart by they respect his wife. Hashem bless to all of Israel.
Amen.
This year finish Galut. This year all come home to Eretz Israel.
Amen. Amen. And may you be blessed. And may your sons be saved. May your family be blessed for what you're doing. And thank you for joining us on this special presentation from Chizuk Hatorah Worldwide Inc. You should have a decent Pesach, and hopefully you'll be able to help as many Jews as possible. So thank you. Amen. Amen.
Thanks for listening.
For continuous Jewish programs, TalklineNetwork.com, or our 24-hour-a-day listen line at 641-741-0389. For past shows, you can find us on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon, YouTube, Instagram, and all major podcast platforms, or jewishpodcast.org. Thanks for listening to the TalklineNetwork.com.